Hello there, my beautiful Capricorn signs. It's Rachel with Dark Knight Coaching. Today's video is all about you, Capricorn, but I do feel like it's about somebody else in your energy too. So I meditated on your cards, and when I meditate, I listen to music. The first song that came up, and this is just like random, this isn't like a playlist, I kind of just go with whatever generally pops out, was the first song was called Us by Tanarel. So if you haven't heard that, I would look that up. Tanarel, it's Tanarelle, I think. I love her music. She just has some nice, solid tunes. But the reading I have for you in regards to your tarot, Capricorn, is very interesting. I do feel like for a lot of you, there's a cheater Peter in your midst. I don't know why. I just kept getting cheater Peter as I was as I was going through and meditating and doing your card pull. I do a traditional Celtic cross. I am Celtic. I have Celtic origin. I'm probably like a hedge witch or something, which is basically has a lot to do with botany and wanting to be left alone on the edge of the woods, which that just sounds like a vacation to me. So I do feel like there's a lot here for you, Capricorn. So if you want to settle in, grab a cup of whatever, tea, coffee, I don't know, water, whatever you drink, and kind of settle in, because it's going to be quite a bumpy reading for you. Now, I will pull the tarot cards first, which I have already done, and then I will actively pull the oracle cards for you as I'm doing this reading. So if you're just interested in tarot, just watch the first half of the video. If nothing's resonated, then it's probably you probably already received a message. But if you're interested in watching the rest of the video, please make sure you smash the like button, and you can watch the other half, which is the wisdom oracle cards that I pull as well. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into your energy now, Capricorn. The first card I have is your current situation, which is the Nine of Pentacles. So a lot of you are very single and independent and free at this point, or you're very much so career oriented. It's kind of, or you might be a little bit of both, honestly, at this point is kind of what I'm getting here, because I do feel like some of you have left the situation where there was some deceptive behavior, because the challenge at this time is the Emperor. This could be a husband energy. This could be a partner energy. It is definitely a masculine energy, and it might be a little bit of like somebody did you dirty, or you're really having to lean into your own masculine energy at this time to get stuff done, because you're like this Nine of Pentacles independent person. So I do feel like you're really having to tap into the masculine side and put on the pants and get a lot of stuff done that you've maybe you felt like you shouldn't have had to do, but now you are having to do it. And that is unfortunate when relationships go through breakups, because a lot of the times sometimes it can leave a party having to wear the pants and the skirt in the relationship, which is basically having to tap into the masculine and feminine energy and wear all of the hats. And that's not very harmonious or balanced. And I do feel like you're trying to find that balance at this time, because that came out in the cards here too. So the next card I have is like, what's the foundation of the situation? What's the perception of what's happening here? And I do feel like you're really standing in your belief system and your value system, Capricorn, and that's what's led you to this point in your life. This is like a bittersweet gift, because it's like you really know yourself, and you're really like not going to take anybody's crap if they're not treating you right, if they're not aligned with your morals or ethics or values. You're just not standing for it. And this doesn't have to be a love relationship situation, but I feel like for a lot of you it is, because the past card I pulled for you was the Eight of Wands, which is, this is kind of a not very traditional card to get in the past energy, Capricorn, but this is having to do with communication coming in fast. For some of you, I definitely got that this was like text messages that came to light that were not appropriate, because I pulled a clarifier on that, because I was like, what does this mean for Capricorn? And I have the Hermit card, and that's like introspection. That's evaluating yourself. That's evaluating the situation that you're in. And again, it could be your energy, Capricorn, with like inappropriate text messages, but I do feel like it's probably the person that you were with, or some sort of third party situation, because you have this really monumental tower moment happening in the present for you. This is like shaking the tree and seeing what apples fall down, and like getting struck by lightning, and like decimating an entire perception of reality that you had created for a situation and a person. And unfortunately, our minds like to play tricks on us where we kind of see people in the light in which we want to see them, because it's truly a refraction of the light in which we try to see ourselves or what we would do in that person's shoes or situation. And the Tower comes in to kind of wash away anything that wasn't true to, like, at the core. I'm getting that like Charlie XCX song, like apple that's rotten right to the core. So even though it might look like a nice juicy apple on the outside, it's just like internally it's rotted from the inside out. And that's what's bringing this Tower moment, because it was an illusion, possibly one that you built. But typically when we build these illusions, we have help from the other person that we're building these illusions for. So people like to present themselves in their best robes, I guess you could say. I don't know where that's coming. In the best robes that they have to kind of put on airs and make people bow down to their feet. I'm thinking of that like Dolly Parton Coat of Many Colors song book thing. So that might be a significant message for some of you for some reason. Now, the next card I have is about your future. There is a choice to make here. And I do feel like with this Tower moment, it's kind of like you stay in old patterns and you try to move on with a person, or you try to move on without a person or a situation. I can't tell you what to do. I can give you guidance and I can show you what the cards and the energy is saying. And I do feel like you have to set boundaries and expectations and healthy things for yourself. Your heart already knows what it is you should do, but your mind may not be on the same page. And sometimes we have to go through those lessons several times before we're ready to throw in a towel or to call it quits or to just be done with a situation or a person. And that is totally about your limit of tolerance and acceptance based on your self-esteem, your self-worth, and your self-value. No one can tell you when it's time to let someone go or to end a cycle or to close out a chapter other than you. And everyone is on their own different path, their own different journey, Capricorn. So there's absolutely no judgment coming from me here. I do feel like in a situation where someone has deceived you or betrayed your trust, I don't feel like a person that does that typically does not learn a lesson, because they may not even see the flaws in their situation. And usually when someone behaves in a manner that is coming from a deceptive nature or a betrayal mindset, it's because they haven't done the internal healing within themselves and they're lacking something within. And no outside force, no matter how hard they try, no matter how much they may push therapy or self-help or reading or educating someone else, isn't going to change someone else. They have to change themselves, and they can only choose to do that. So I do feel like this Hermit card is like a reflective card of seeing what you can change about yourself, not what you can change about another person. And that's going to be for you to make up your mind about, Capricorn. Now, the next card I have for you is what is the opportunity here? And it is basically Spirit is giving you this little gift of self-awareness, of enlightenment, of revelation, which is what the Page of Pentacles is all about. It's kind of like a little small opportunity to grow. It's a seed, essentially. So you can choose to plant the seed of growth and wisdom and knowledge and use it for your future, or not. You can discard it. And if you do discard it, it will probably come back around at some point in time once you have learned the lesson and closed out a chapter. Are you ready for that? You tell me. So the next card I have for you is all about the people around you and how you're kind of be perceived in this situation. And I have the Queen of Swords here. This isn't a very nice way to perceive someone. she's a feminine queen, but she's also very cold and very kind of abrupt in her decision making. But that's like, who cares? Like, that's your own business, Capricorn. And if people think you're like cold and harsh maybe for cutting someone off who betrayed your trust, or who, you know, didn't align with your value system or your beliefs here, like that wasn't in a solid foundation, or like wasn't interested in building a solid foundation or a relationship with you, who cares? There's plenty of fish in the sea, okay? You may not even feel like fishing. So who you like, don't invest too much time into what other people think, because they've never walked in your shoes, and who are they to judge? Because everyone has different lessons that they're learning at different points in time, and that's what's happening for you. Now, your hopes and fears at this time, Capricorn, is the Temperance card, which is all about like finding peace, finding harmony, finding balance between practicality and spiritualness. This is like, it's kind of like head and heart balance. Like, can you find the fine line in between those two things and do that for yourself? Because it's kind of like you have this pentacle, you have this seed, okay? And Temperance is all about like the right time, the right place, the right amount of something to help this grow and flourish and move forward. And Temperance is your fear and your hope at this time to like be able to find the harmony in the situation, to have enough water to get this plant to grow, to have enough soil and sunlight to move forward in something. And that's what I do see you doing, because your outcome was the best card. It's the Wheel of Fortune card, which is moving on to greener pastures. This is totally closing out a cycle and moving forward, because you recognize your self-worth, you recognize your value, and you're not going to settle for someone who is unable to see you. That's it. Like, they may not see you, because the goodness that's in you, Capricorn, is probably buried deep inside someone, but they've covered it with like these shadow aspects of themselves and how they want people to perceive them in the world. And maybe people try to cover it with money and ego and all of those things that we kind of identify ourselves with. But I don't feel like you're doing that. And I feel like you're trying to be very true and authentic to your path and to your like yourself, basically. Now, the subconscious energy I have for you, Capricorn, is the Three of Wands. This is about waiting for your ships to come in. This is a kind of about waiting for maybe someone to pull their head out of their ass. Like, that may not happen. Like, Ace of Swords, to clarify that. Ace of Swords is all about having the honest adult conversation of like, this person is maybe unable to meet you where you are. And I feel like you have leveled up. I feel like things have shaken you to the core and shifted you out of a mindset that wasn't serving you, or a lifestyle that wasn't serving you. So keep that in mind, Capricorn. Now, that's what I have for tarot. If you're interested in hearing or listening to the Wisdom Oracle cards that I have, I will pull all of those now. But if you've just come for tarot, please hit the smash that like button. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. And then I will move on to the oracle cards. Now, the first oracle card I'm going to pull is from my I Ching deck. This isn't the traditional I Ching, but it is kind of how I do it. So, interesting. You have number 34. That might be a significant number for some of you. And it says great vigor. Constancy bears fruit. With great vigor, you stand upright and robust, full of resilient energy. Inspired and animated by strong purpose, you are ready to wield your strength like a hero. To yield results, you will need to act with steadiness and consistency, and standing in your strength, but without mistaking it for omnipotence. How will you use your power, and where do you stand? Again, I do feel like this is all about planting the seeds of this opportunity for a new chapter. This is about finding the balance and harmony, and constancy bears fruit. So it's like putting in these little baby steps of growth that are going to at some point show up for you in real life. Now, we have I just saw 55 on the clock. That might be a significant angel number for you. We have Moon in Aquarius happening in August. I do feel like that's going to be a significant time for planting these seeds for you. And apparently there's something about Scorpio season that's going to be very significant. So new moon in Scorpio is all about working through your fears. So make sure you check the lunar cycles. I do feel like if you're not dealing with Scorpio, then Scorpio season is going to be very significant for you. Scorpio is all about death, so I do feel like that is that is significant as well. Okay, so the archetype cards you have are very interesting. You have the fault line and you have the vow. So some of you are definitely ending a marriage or a partnership that was based on a vow that someone made. And I do feel like the fault line is like that broke. Someone broke the vow, literally, of the foundation that you had built with the person. Or, you know, it could be a family member or a friendship or a job situation, even like a promise that was made that was broken. But I do feel like it's created this chasm of chaos and conflict and an unstable foundation, which is what the tower is all about. So it's like the tower brings to light anything that was built on a lie or on deceptive behavior. And that is what you're seeing very clearly now, which is why you have this major choice to make with the Chariot card here. So, you know, not everything is black and white. I don't really want to like present it like that, but I do feel like in this situation, it is all about your morals, your ethics, your values, and your belief system. Now, the Moon Oracle card, I pulled another Moon Oracle card. It says, I allow my soul to lead the way. Sorry, you can't see that very well because of the glare. I allow my soul to lead the way. Now, your heart knows before your head knows a lot of things. This is scientifically proven. There's been studies done at a lot of heart research centers. Your heart somehow is aware of the truth or aware of the future before it happens. And I do feel like you are being guided by not only your guides, but your inner knowing, your intuition. Now, the next card I have is light. It says, weave your spells by the light of the stars and listen to your inner voice. Again, this is all about trusting yourself, trusting your gut, trusting your intuition, which if you've gone through a betrayal or deception and you're having this tower moment, it may feel dang near impossible to do that. So I'm not saying this lightly or that it's easy, but there are some things you can do to help clear your mind, to help ground yourself, and to focus on healing. Now, this is from my Third Eye Intuition deck. It says develop. So Spirit really wants you to develop your intuitive skills at this time. And this is a card that's going to help you kind of do that. It says breathe and move into your intuition. Spend time in a calm and restful environment and give yourself over to daydreaming. And what is your intuition telling you? Now, if you're like, I hate meditation, I can't do it, I can't sit still. Okay, cool. Don't do it. If you would like another option, I highly recommend listening to like binaural beats or solfeggio frequencies. I have a lot of videos on my channel that are about music and healing and crystals and grounding and being a hippie outside and going and hugging a tree and stuff like that, which are actual things that actually do ground you because we are all electromagnetic beings. So before you like laugh it off, consider it. Now, the next card I have for you is, again, tied to your third eye and your intuition. This is mysticism. So some of you, when you go through hardship or tower moments, you might be accessing your intuitive abilities, which is your mystical gifts. And that's going to help guide you out of the darkness, because this Hermit card, this guy is leading himself out of the darkness with his light, which is his starlight in this little lantern. And that is literally your starlight, which is your soul, that your soul is leading you out of the darkness. It may not feel like it, and you may feel like trapped and stuck, but you are being guided to the light again, even though you feel like maybe everything's come tumbling down. Now, if you're not sure how to work on your third eye, or if you're trying to open your third eye and you need help doing that, make sure you check out my video on third eye chakra. I have one about your pineal gland, and that is all about cleansing your pineal gland, which is your crystal inside of your brain, which helps you connect to the ether or the quantum realm or other dimensions, however you want to view that. And that is scientific. So make sure you give that a Google, because I could talk about quantum physics all day, but I'm not gonna waste your time. Now, the Power of Love card I have for you is evolution. Evolution can only occur when there's involution. So it's involution before it comes out to the world. And that's doing this introspection, that's doing the shadow work, that's doing this healing, which is what the Hermit card is. And that's finding the harmony and balance between the darkness and the light. And that's literally how you become an earth angel. That's also how you kind of tap into your mystical gifts, is finding this balance between the yin and the yang energy, and using it for the benefit of the collective. Now, this card says you realize that obstacles are merely lessons on your path to love. This is about taking those lemons and making them into lemonade, even if it doesn't feel good. That's it. Oof. And observe your thoughts. Okay, you have a lot of stuff about meditation and intuition and things. This is number 49, Observer. This is from my Wisdom Oracle deck. I think this is my Kim Kranz deck. I love her stuff. But Observer, observe your thoughts. I try to phrase meditation as kind of like you're just watching your thoughts go by. You're not really judging what they are, but you're just kind of watching them like a train, and you're kind of picturing them like, oh, there goes that thought again. That's just another car on the track. Okay, well, where are we at now? And then you kind of see if you find yourself in these repeating patterns of cyclical thoughts, and then you kind of just let them pass. And again, if you're like, oh, I can't sit still, I can't do nothing and just like listen. Okay, well, there are lots of other different types of meditation. It's not all just one. So there's music, there's driving in your car. Those are very meditative. You could do Wim Hof breathing or ice baths. Those are kind of somatic healing things, or like flame gazing. You can do that as well, and that is also very helpful. So you have a little bit of a rough reading, Capricorn, but I do feel like you will find balance, and you're working through those fears of yours, and it's just going to lead you out of the darkness and into the light. It's just going to be a lot of introspective work that you're going to have to move through. And don't break the vows that you've made to yourself. That's another message here that I see. It's like, don't give up parts of yourself to please someone else, because then you're going to end up in some sort of purgatory, basically, where you're never satisfied because you're giving away parts of yourself in order to make someone else happy. And that's not love, that's limerence, and that's not healthy. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn. Hopefully this video helped. If it did, smash that like button. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for doing the shadow work and the healing. I feel like a lot of people don't thank each other enough for like the things we can't see that are being done on the inside. And that is huge, because as you're evolving and involving and changing parts of yourself and facets of yourself, you're raising the collective energy, you're raising the awareness level, and it's just bringing more peace and prosperity to the collective. And that is huge, because that's how we make this Aquarian shift, is moving out of the old way of being and old traditions into this new mindset, which is all about self-growth and awareness and healing. And that's what you're doing here, and I just appreciate you so much. So thank you, Capricorn, and I will see you next time.